Sincere believer leads by example, so those who believe in overpopulation should be the change they want to see.
Okay.
Well, that's true enough. And that's why I do not believe in the man-made climate change hoax, because all the people trying to push it are buying beachfront property, eating all the meat, buying up all the farmland, and trying to fuck with your diet. So no, fuck off.
Absolutely correct.
Dave Krupel, I'm sure Harris...
You serious?
On the blogosphere. So I'll treat this as a legitimate question. If sea levels are rising, why are people who accept the conclusions of oceanographers and climate scientists still buying beachfront property? Isn't it all going to be underwater? Asked one poster. We'll start with Obama and this question from a guest blog on What's Up With That. Did Obama just buy a beachfront mansion? Rumors are flying that the owner of a beachfront mansion in Hawaii is none other than President Obama, the same president who warns us that global warming and rising sea levels are a greater danger to the future of America than Islamic terrorism. I can now confirm that this story was in fact true. There were rumors flying that Obama had bought a beachfront mansion in Hawaii. Unfortunately, the rumors turned out to be false. The property had been bought by the head of the Obama Foundation, Marty Nesbitt. But that didn't prevent the rumors from being upgraded to actual fact. However, while the Obamas didn't buy this oceanfront property, they did buy another oceanfront property at Martha's Vineyard. So attention was switched to that. The What's Up With That blog tried again. Sea level rise? Obama just bought a beachside property. Well, not quite. The property is at 79 Turkeyland Cove Road in Edgartown, Massachusetts, which is several hundred meters from the beach and about 10 feet above sea level. So if President Obama really does follow the science, as he professes to do, then he knows that storm surges aren't going to be an issue, and he knows that even at the extreme high end of estimates, scientific projections show that the property will be permanently inundated sometime after the year 2200. That's 180 years from now, by which time Barack and Michelle will be about 250 years old, and not that bothered. Al Gore also came in for some flack after buying this house right on the beach.
Just a couple to 3 years after the Nobel Peace Prize, he and Tipper, well, tragically before their divorce, they went out and spent $9 million on a mansion on the ocean front in California.
One blogger wrote, Mr. Gore just paid nearly $9 million for the property, which, according to his professed beliefs, will likely soon be literally underwater and hence worthless both as a residence and for resale. The blogger rules out the possibility that Al Gore is so dumb he'll buy a house he believes will be underwater likely soon, so that leaves only one possibility, he says, that Mr. Gore is a self-conscious, witting liar who doesn't actually believe his predictions of doom. Of course, Al Gore may be a self-conscious, witting liar who doesn't actually believe his predictions of doom. Who knows? But there is a very obvious third possibility, which is, well, you're way ahead of me, that his house is in no danger from rising sea levels at all. For a start, this isn't his house. Al Gore's house is at 1504 East Mountain Drive, Montecito, in the hills overlooking the town and about 50 feet above sea level. So according to the scientific projections Al Gore professes to believe, his house should be underwater several hundred years after he's dead. I don't have an exact address for John Kerry's house, but it doesn't matter. Most of Chilmark, where he bought his house, is also comfortably more than 10 feet above sea level. So let's try Nancy Pelosi's house. According to an anonymous tweet, and if you can't trust anonymous tweets on the internet, who can you trust? Nancy bought this house. Clearly, it's right on the water. But sadly, it doesn't seem to belong to Nancy Pelosi. Her office and the real estate agency selling the house said she isn't the buyer. So unless someone has evidence other than a tweet, that claim is a non-starter. The strongest contender is a beach house owned by Bill Gates at 2808 Oceanfront, Del Mar, California. It's not his main residence, but it is only a few feet above sea level and right next to the beach. so Bill has only another 100 years or so to enjoy his beach house. Then, at the age of 160, he'll either have to buy another one or spend more time in his main residence or one of the dozen other mansions he owns. The more immediate problem for Bill is that long before the beach house gets inundated, he'll have to protect it against storm surges and coastal erosion. The engineering work doesn't come cheap, maybe upwards of $1 million, so I hope he's got a bit of cash. In sum, according to the scientific projections, these wealthy people don't have much to worry about, regardless of their political affiliation or beliefs. There's no scientific evidence that sea levels will rise by several feet in the next few years, and as far as I know, none of them has made that claim. Certainly, there's no such claim made in the scientific literature.
If you really believe that sea level rise is a problem, I will guarantee to buy that property for $1. Because after all, it's not worth anything to you.
Well, what a surprise. No one wants to sell a house which will be snapped up on the market for millions of dollars for just $1. I wonder why. Once again, not a great argument against the science. In the end, it makes no difference to the science whether Al Gore and Barack Obama are wonderful people or the most disgusting creatures on earth. Scientific facts are scientific facts, regardless. And the fact that their houses are safely out of harm's way doesn't matter either. There are much more immediate problems to concern ourselves with than Al Gore's basement getting